Right. So, hey, Troy again. So now I wanted to kind of give you a rundown on what I've wrote, right? What are these movies that I dream of making, right? So, like I said, I have three features that I've wrote. One of them's not finished, but I still count it. It's about one third the way there, give or take. Um, and a couple short films and a couple series, a couple pilots for shows. So the first one and the most, I guess, the one that kind of spearheaded everything was My Secret Friend. I put in quite a few screenplay competitions, and it actually got semifinalists and quarterfinalists in a couple of things, including Scriptapalooza, which it was a finalist, which is very exciting. I'm still waiting to hear back from, to see where that goes. And then I also have it in the Austin Film Festival. They have a screenplay competition as well. We'll see how that goes. But essentially, it's about a teenage boy who has a troublemaking imaginary friend, and he moves to a new school due to his imaginary friend getting him in trouble. And this is kind of his last shot, or he's going to get sent to military school. And while he's there, he gets caught up in a series of bizarre murders, and fingers are kind of being pointed in his direction. A new kid, and bad things are coming his way. And then halfway through the film, there's like a big reveal, and then like there's a there's a complete tonal shift really, and the movie becomes a different movie really, two movies in one. But I did my best to make sure that both work. Think Scott Pilgrim versus the World meets Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's like the first half is a high school murder mystery, the other half is an imaginary friend adventure. So it's very funny. I would put it more under a comedy, but it has horror elements, fantasy elements, sci-fi elements. It does a lot of stuff, so it's definitely original, a very original. I'm very proud of it. So one day, hopefully, we'll see it. The one I just finished, my third screenplay feature. It's a revenge tale about a young woman who is betrayed by her husband, and she's cast off, and she ends up becoming a witch, and she wants to use that in order to get back at him. And but on the way to the revenge, she has kind of a change of heart when she meets a new coven, and kind of show her the right way of going about things. And this one's a little more mature, a little bit of fantasy, but mostly a drama with some horror elements with a little bit of fantasy. So that one I'm finished, and it's exciting. Again, it's a little more mature. And then the third one I have is a pure horror film. This is a pure horror film, and it's about two best friends that run a podcast, a horror podcast, and they want to seek out a lost horror film that's been lost to time. And anyone that ever watched this horror film has died, so it's almost like cursed. And one of the friends is all about this podcast, and he thinks it'll make him famous. He doesn't really have a job, so this is like his most important thing for him. And the other one, he's just happy to be there with his friend and just spending time with him. So it's kind of about their friendship, how it gets tested, and it builds over them finding a movie, and it premiering and having to fight for survival in the movie theater. And then I have the first thing I ever wrote was a series. Well, it was going to be a movie. It was about my life as a hospital corpsman, and kind of the whole scope of my, a military drama, but also has comedy elements. Now, it could be a feature, but I think it may work better as a series. I'm still debating on how to approach it ultimately. And then I have a few animated series that I've been helping out with. One's an original, one's my friend made, and I kind of helped him kind of as a partner. Then I have a couple of short films that are, one's horror, one's drama, one's somewhere in between. So those are what I got going on. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and hopefully this gets you excited as I am.